Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the GhostedBoyz podcast. Today we have Andre, Javon, Josh, and myself, and we're going to talk about some good and bad DMing experiences, some interesting and some cringeworthy first dates, if double dating is ever a good idea, and even mention how Ermo almost pulled the robbery on me on one of my first dates. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and thanks for listening.
All right, now we're talking about if any DMs actually worked out for any of us, good or bad. Tell us about your experience. I had a time before, but I'm not going to go into it yet. Who wants to jump in first and just tell some of the best tips or what you did, to make it the best DM you ever sent?
I guess I'll go first. For my best DM experience is like it wasn't nothing crazy. Nothing ever happened from it. Like I didn't ever hang out with the girl, but I think it was I was on like Tinder, again, a dating app, and this girl, we were talking about some shit. I don't really remember what. Conversation was good or decent. And then we started talking about like desserts and our favorite desserts or whatnot. And she was like, "Oh, I love cupcakes or cake or whatever." And she's like, "But I can't eat it a lot because I like I got to count my calories, watch my calories, count them." And I said, "Girl, the only numbers you need to worry about are these." And then I gave her my number.
Damn.
And I thought that shit was so smooth. She texted me, I think once, and then she fucking never texted back. But I was still
So
a
she
victory to
did
me.
text you? She did text you?
I'm pretty sure she texted me like once, and I said something, and then she never responded. But I chalked it up as a W because I was proud of that line. I didn't Google it. I just came up with it on the top of my head. So, but
Pretty creative. I like it.
the worst one I've ever had. I was with Josh. I was with you and Andy one time when we were downtown, and I DM'd this girl that I have, if you want to say, history with, and I was, it was 2 a.m. like on the fucking dot, like.
But is this a girl you usually DM around this time, or is this like a one time, one shot right here?
I've occasionally gotten drunk and DM'd her late. That's usually kind of how it would work. At one point, she's like, "Why do you always ask me out like so late at night?" But I got drunk and I DM'd her, and I was like, "Hey," or something, and she never responded. And then I like said something else, like, "All right, bet," or something, and she roasted the shit out of me. And she said, "What are you drinking with your friends right now? And they're giving you the confidence to DM me?" And I fucking was pissed. I think I unfollowed her like that night.
Was it true though? Were we hyping you up that night to do it? I don't think so.
Did you? I probably would have been, "Oh, should I DM her?" And you guys are probably just like, "Yeah, fucking do it." But
yeah.
It was more the alcohol. So that shit stung.
Remember when I told you
that was probably the worst.
I told you to like DM a girl for me one night off your phone. Do you remember that in Scottsdale? We were at your friend's apartment, and we were all like tipsy like after, and I was like, "Hey, DM this girl for me. Tell her I miss her." Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then the next day I was like, it was so bad, so embarrassing. I don't know what she said.
I can't remember. Fuck, I can't remember. I remember that same night though. I was like, "Hey, should I DM this one girl?" And y'all, it was fucking 2 a.m. and y'all were like, "Yeah, do it." And it was a fucking terrible fucking decision.
Bad idea.
Yeah, DMing that late. I think they know what we're trying to do, or at least like,
if it's just out of the blue,
tipsy, yeah. At least we're tipsy and stuff.
I think past a certain time. Well, actually, I don't know. Time. Some girls like that shit. Some girls respond. So I guess it just depends.
Yeah, what do you guys think is a good cutoff? Like time period? When should you stop DMing?
Maybe like midnight or 1.
I'd say like 11.
Weekday or weekend?
Oh, weekend. Earlier.
Yeah, because people got work.
But like, what if they're posting that late and you like slide up on something that late?
Then.
That's different. Yeah, that's okay. But if you're just
that's why I think it depends. Like, if it's just out of the blue, I think there should definitely be a cutoff time.
Why? Yeah. It varies though. It totally varies because I've had occasions where I DM girls at fucking 3 a.m. and they're like, "I'm down to hang out with you," or yeah, or like they respond. So I think it kind of depends on the girl too, and if they think you're just drunk messaging them.
And
Yeah.
if you have like prior contact with them, the girls you hit up that late, I feel like you've been like talking to them.
Doing
right?
it.
What you got to do is like if you
mostly, yeah.
If you plan on drinking that night, hit them up around 6 or 7, and then you get a little tipsy, and then finish off the night text or messaging them or sliding up on the DMs with them. So it's not like you're coming off too weird. You already talked to her earlier
like
in the day.
past security.
Yeah.
And then yeah.
So even though you're tipsy, she doesn't think it, at least, or she doesn't think that's the only reason you hit her up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like, oh, he's drunk again. Kind of like what that one girl said to me, which was kind of true, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Well, what about y'all? Do y'all have any like good DM stories or like a great fucking pickup line or a worst?
I got a good DM story, but it ended the wrong way.
Let's hear it.
Led to a date. So I think Mike and I were chilling at my house, and there was this girl that I knew back from like Planet Fitness, and Mike, and I was like, Mike, watch this, and I threw up like a thumbs up and a fire emoji, and she fucking responded and was like, oh my god, how are you, blah blah blah. At this time I tore my knee, so I was like in a brace, so I was just chilling, and me and Mike were just chilling and hanging out watching TV, and I was just like, dude, I'm gonna slide up. So I sent it, and it ended up working out. We ended up getting a date going. We went to Oya, and I remember it was just bad vibes in the beginning when she picked me up, because she's like, oh, you live with your mom and dad? She's like, and I was like, yeah. And then she saw like the Mazda I was driving at the time, but I couldn't drive because of my knee. And she's like, is that your car? And I was like, what the fuck? I'm already getting judged right off the bat. And
what did she pick you up in?
She picked me up in a Tacoma. She doesn't have it anymore.
Mazda's a good car.
I know, but she was just like, I live with my parents and I drive like an economical car, so I don't know what she was thinking. She's from Scottsdale, granted. She's like a Scottsdale girl. At least she assumes that. She assumes that. So anyways, she sees me like in my crutches because I can't walk, and so like she just seems like, oh, when are you gonna get out of that brace? And I'm like, I have one more month in the brace. And so it was already like a bad taste and it was uncomfortable. So then we go to the restaurant and we're eating, right? And then she's like, oh my God, I need to tell you about like how my ex treated me and blah, blah, blah. It was all about her ex. Jesus. And then we get, what is it? The $5 sake bombers. And you know how you're usually pop it in and you slam it. So I got a sake and I didn't do that. And she's like, oh my God, you're such a pussy. Like, how could you not do that in front of me? And I was like, oh my God, I'm just chilling. Like, so it was like already.
Was she like joking with you, or was she being like serious?
In the beginning, she was serious, and then she kept bringing it up. Or she was joking in the beginning, and then she kept bringing it up. I can't believe you really drink a sake bomber like that. And I was like, oh my gosh. First off, I'm on pain medication. I'm not allowed to be drinking like this and pounding it. I was just sipping. I was like, I actually enjoy it. So
she would have hated seeing Javon take a sake bomb then.
And then after that, like,
baby sips.
I tried to make the most of it. I paid for her meal. Like, I didn't care, like, whatever. I was still there having a good time, even though it was awkward, and I knew it wasn't gonna work out. So we get home, she drops me off. I don't give her a kiss or anything. I just go in, and you see me just on my crutches waddling in, and I know she's like, oh fuck, look at this handicapped guy. And so I'm just like, all right, whatever. And so, all right.
She didn't open the door for you?
No, she didn't. I just hopped out and fucking crouched over there. So
that's cold.
I was just like, I knew in the back of my head, I was like, hey, this isn't going anywhere. And so I remember I texted her and I was like, hey, it was a good time, like good hanging out. Thanks for coming and picking me up because I couldn't drive. And I remember she just gave me a thumbs up and then she ghosted me.
Did you like try to hit her up after that date, or did you just leave it?
I did hit her up like
up?
once. I did hit her up once, like after that. She hit me with like, "Hi, sorry, I just been like super busy and blah blah blah." And I was like, obviously, like I see you posting on Snap and Instagram and all these things, but you're too busy to say like what's up. I was like, in my back of my head, I knew, all right, stop wasting your time, Josh, and just move on. So DM worked out great for the date, but the execution, I guess, on my side just didn't work out.
Sounded like she was superficial though, so it's probably better it ended that way.
Yeah, that's judgmental as shit. Like, fuck, my car has a crack in the fucking window. Imagine if she saw me, she probably would have fucking thought I was on welfare or something.
I mean, she offers you money.
She offers me money. Fuck, I'd have taken it. Fuck, yeah, that's just someone who's superficial as fuck. You should. I wish you could have went on another date and then this time pull up in a wheelchair, just to really fuck with her.
Yeah,
like or pull up in a Mercedes.
She was already judging me because of like my knee. Like I'm not gonna be like this forever. But I was like already a bad sign. And like you said, Javon, you know, it was a good sign that we'd never even connected more after that. And so now, I eventually just unfollowed her like recently. So I was just like whatever. I don't care about you.
That story hit me hard because I had a fucking brace too. I'm low-key tearing up right now.
What about you guys? You guys had any success plus success instead of like my story?
Honestly, like my game now on DMs is not the best, but back in high school, I was like, that was like prime time. But I don't really have like any good or bad. But like most of the time, what I would do is just like I'd see they played music on their story, and I'd be like, "Hey, I like that song. Send me your Spotify playlist," and that just like gets the conversation going, you know.
Javon said y'all used to go and like old ass photos on Instagram.
Well, that was
in high school, yeah.
That was like freshman, sophomore year.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird how like
before
it changes
Snapchat
over
was
time.
popping and stuff. But like when Instagram first came around, it was like starting to become popular. That was like how I pulled up, at least. I know like a lot of people did that. It just like, if you think someone's cute, you just go in their old pictures and like a couple and see if they like them back, and then slide in the DMs.
That's how I got like my first girlfriend was like that, from Instagram pictures.
Yeah.
Hey, sometimes it works out like that.
It does. But I'm like Shane. I'm like in person kind of guy, you know.
Yeah. Have you guys had any in person like at the club moments where you guys pulled up?
Club, I don't know.
Just the one time with you.
Mm.
Really, I mean, like I've like danced with girls and stuff, but like pulled up just that one time we pulled up on that group with like 3 girls.
Yeah, we're all hype.
Yeah.
She gets Go ahead, say it. Go ahead, say it. I guess one time I was at a club. I was with friends, so it was easier. And she introduced me to this girl. And this girl, I guess, was feeling me. So we ended up grinding that night. And then she adds me on Instagram. And then I was living in Tucson at the time. And she's like, when can I come over and come see you and hang out? And she was in Phoenix. And I was like, well, you could come this weekend or this weekday. I can't remember. I think it was like a Thursday or Wednesday. And she comes over in Tucson. And then I'm like, let's go to the casino tonight. And so we go to the casino. And then I'm playing blackjack. I think I end up winning like $800. And I was tipsy as shit. So this is like now 2, 3 a.m. And then I'm like, if I hit one more hand, we're going to Rocky Point tonight. Because she was Hispanic too. And so she's like, fuck it, I'm down. And so I'm like, all right, boom, I hit. And I'm like, all right, let's fucking go. Like, I'm hype. I'm like, LFG. And then I get home and I'm scrambling, looking through for my passport. And I said, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to take a chance and just go. So we end up getting to Rocky Point at like 6 a.m. And dude, that was a fun ass fucking time, like adventurous as fuck. Went jet skiing and just like chilled out on the beach. Had like a penthouse suite. I don't know. I wish I could go back in time, but it was a super chill date. So I guess it's probably one of the best times I ever had. But it didn't really lead from Instagram. It just started at a club, then led to Instagram.
I think I remember that you were in fucking Rocky Point. Like it's like wasn't it the middle of the week, or was it like a Thursday or a Friday?
It had to be middle of the week because I was working weekends back then. So
because I remember it's like middle of the week and I'm getting snaps from you in fucking Rocky Point. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Dude, I thought the cartel had you out there or something.
I definitely took off, and I guess you could say we kind of hooked up out there, and it was a little interesting, but she was a cool girl, and we always stayed friends after that, but nothing more serious than that. So, I mean, I can't beat it, I guess.
Oh, that's
Damn, how do you top that story? How do you top that story?
Yeah,
you can't
just
top
end
that.
the podcast now. Fuck this. Fucking had to pull that out like the grand finale of the 4th
Should have let him go last. Shit, I don't even want to explain my story.
Fuck.
What was your best one, Mike?
I don't really know. It's been little shit. I mean, honestly, like the best one I've had, even though it didn't really end up into much, was the one where y'all met the girl. Me and her went bowling.
And Ermo
and
was
then
there.
we went to Melon Mushroom, and then Ermo was fucking. He turned into a in-person stand-up comedian when she was there with us. Fucking telling stories I've never heard in my entire life.
You turned into like fucking Chris Rock that night.
I was about to fucking call the cops. I thought I was about to get the fucking robbery pulled on me. But it was just a fun date. I mean, it was good chemistry, a lot of jokes and like shit like that. Like I remember when I went to pick her up, I was like, "Hey, I'm pulling up," and I was like, "If you see the Tesla, that's not me. I'm in a fucking Nissan Sentra," like stupid shit like that. But it was cool. It was just probably the best result of one of the dates I've been on. I didn't go to fucking like Las Vegas or New York later that night or anything like Josh. I fucking went home, I think.
Damn.
Oh gosh.
You guys went bowling right before you met up with us at Mellow?
Yeah, played a couple games of bowling, had a drink there, let her win a game, and then I was like, all right, like my boys are out at Mellow getting some drinks and food, and she's like, I'm down, so fucking went out there. It was cool. That was a fun date though.
Yeah.
That was fun.
What about you, Javon or Dre?
For me, I went to the movies with this girl, but I like knew her from high school, and I'd been talking to her for a minute. So like, the movies are normally like a really bad first date, from what I hear, just because like you have to sit next to him and you like don't talk to him at all for like 2 hours. But we went to the movies, we got food, and then after the movies we took pictures in like one of those photo booths. And yeah, it was just a chill date.
Hey, rumor has it.
Picture, though.
Pull up the pictures, Javon. I know you still got them somewhere.
rumor has it. Javon's never
They're in
been
his wallet.
Rumor has it what?
Javon's never been on a full day date.
Not like a full day, no. Not like a full day.
He's never spent.
Oh damn!
What do you mean a full day? Like 12 hours or what?
Just like hanging out throughout the day. Like he hangs out with them for like an hour and drops them off.
Oh, okay.
What's the reason behind that, Javon?
Yeah, what's up with that? Are you that busy?
I mean, if I was like really interested in someone, like I would be willing to go on like a serious date. But if it's just like my first time hanging out with them, I don't want to like do something like super ball out or like spend a whole bunch of time with them, because like what if you like go somewhere and you plan like this whole day out and it just goes bad, rather than like just going to get food or coffee and you just with them for like an hour and then you could dip. And if it goes good, you can hang out with them longer. You can like go somewhere else and be spontaneous.
So now girls will know if you don't ask them on like a 7-hour second date that you're not feeling them.
She's like, where are we going this time? Oh,
back home.
Drive through.
That's true though. You don't want to go on a date and then like, especially, I mean, a first date especially, but like if the chemistry is just bad and you're like, fuck, now I have to spend X amount more time with them. Like that's kind of why I was like, oh, the date went good. I remember I was texting Josh and I was like, are y'all at Mellow? And he's like, bet. And I was like, all right, I might just ask her if she wants to go. And she's like, I'm down. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so you can, like,
if it was bad, I would
move
have
somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah. Been like, oh, my apartment's on fire, some shit.
I have a bad experience with a movie date.
What happened?
But I don't want to get into too much detail, but so pretty much.
No, come on, man.
Like, come on.
All right.
You don't have to say
the
names,
audience wants to hear it.
No, don't say
so
a name.
after this, so met this girl at this like camp I went to, and she was chill, but I liked her friend at the time. But her friend had like a boyfriend, so I was like, fuck, like I don't know what to do. So I started talking to her, like trying to like make friends with her to get to her friend. But it just ended up like I got the impression that she liked me. We were like kicking it off, like playing pool, like dancing and stuff. It was fun. So we like get back from this church camp and I'm like, this girl's pretty cool. So I hit her up and I'm like, do you want to do something? And she was like, yeah, let's go get ice cream. Or actually, I think she hit me up. I didn't hit her up. She hit me up asking to go on like to get ice cream or something and watch a movie. So I was like, fuck it, like I'll agree to it. We got ice cream. Like I paid for it because I got the vibe it was gonna be like a date, you know. But this isn't like the bad part. We go watch. It was like Jurassic World. I freaking hate that movie now. And it's like loud as hell too. Like one of the loudest movies I've been to. So like it's really awkward. We're like barely talking. And like, you know, like I don't know if you guys have had this feeling, but you're like in a date and you're in your head, you're like, damn, I need to like make a move fast. The movie's gonna end. Like, God, time's just ticking. That's how I felt. So I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. So I'm like, I put my hand up, put my hand around her, and it's just like sitting there like weird. She doesn't lean in or anything. It's just like super freaking awkward. I'm just sitting there and it gets like to the point it's like so awkward. I'm like, I'm gonna use the restroom. I just get up, just completely just leave, and I go like to the bathroom, come back. We sit through the rest of the movie like awkward as hell. And then like the drive back to her house, because I drove, was even more awkward. It was just weird. Like the drive back home, we were like talking about the whole thing. I was like, oh, I got the impression you liked me. And she was like, she hit me with, yeah, just as friends. It was bad.
I would have dropped her off. I'd been like, yeah, I just ran out of fuel. So
no, but it was like confusing. Like she hit me up to go on like an ice cream date. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, ice cream's not like yeah, that's kind of more of like, and like a date.
And movies too. So it was like mixed connections, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe she really wanted to see Jurassic World, and she's like, "Oh, Andre will take me."
Oh wait, and then the reason she said just she was like telling me that I forgot the exact story, but she was like keeping me from getting at her friend because she knew her friend had a boyfriend at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she was friends with the girl's boyfriend. They were like going through shit. I didn't know. So like that was
she's like cock blocking you.
Pretty much, and then we just became friends out of it. But I got like the wrong impression. I don't know. It was just really awkward.
That's tough. That is
like
tough.
I hate Jurassic World. I'd never want to see that movie again.
Do you guys have any like really awkward stories? Like not even like a date.
Like terms of
what?
Like I don't know. Like anything like super awkward like that ever happened to you in like high school or something, or like middle school?
I have a
like
date,
prom or something.
I have an awkward first date, but
how did that go?
It was like Dre's, like the movies, and like you said, it's how bad of an idea it was.
Yeah, because you can't talk to him.
What was the movie?
Yeah, it's the fucking Priest. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Yeah,
it's like a vampire killing priest. It's like the fucking worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Like 10%.
Is biased, dude.
10% on Tomatoes.
Some girls like are talkative during movies though. I guess it just depends on the girl, you know. Some girls talk.
It's
That'd be
hard though too
annoying.
It's
during
hard
the
to talk
movie.
because you're
Yeah,
like
plus I want to
quiet.
enjoy a movie unless we're gonna like
Yeah,
kiss,
I don't want to
but
talk to you during a movie.
That's true.
especially if you want to see it. But so we it's a girl I mentioned before where I messaged her on Facebook. We got to know each other. We were texting for like 2 weeks straight, like all those memes about when you used to stay up late and skip sleep to text someone. That's what it was like. So we knew everything about each other. So we go on this date. The girl sneaks out the back gate. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure she ain't even supposed to be out right now. It's like 9 o'clock. And I pick her up and I'm like, oh, you look nice, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, we're going to go see Priest because I know you like scary movies. You know, I thought it was the scariest fucking movie out. So it'd be kind of cool. So she's like, oh, cool, sweet. And then we drive and it's just like awkward fucking silence. Like awkward silence. No one's saying anything. I'm like fucking sweating hard. And then she starts talking again and like tells the story. And I'm like, cool, she's talking. Like, I'm trying to think of other shit to talk about. And then it's awkward silence. And we get to the movie theater. Well, I was at the mall earlier that day. So I brought a brand new fucking outfit just for this date. There's a Lil Wayne t-shirt with Lil Wayne's picture on the front. And brand new cargo shorts when cargo shorts were like super in. And
Did you do the double Nike socks?
No, I didn't double them up. No, I had Nike socks on, but I didn't.
Were you
I didn't
jerking?
double them.
Were you jerking when you picked her up?
Jerking, yeah.
Did you have a snapback on your fucking belt loop?
Thunder shades too?
Fuck, you're just really making me seem fucking old with that shit. So I get out the car and I don't know what happened if I lost like 10 pounds that day, but those cargo shorts just didn't fit anymore.
Oh.
So they literally were falling off and I didn't buy a belt.
That's tough.
So like I had to like walk and like I was pulling up my britches, bro. Every time I'm just pulling up my fucking cargo shorts. So I couldn't hold her hand or anything. We go up to get the tickets. Well, I bought them earlier that day because I knew what time we were going on the date. And for some reason, that just felt weird as fuck. Like we walk up and I just pulled 2 tickets out of my pockets. I'm like, look, I already got them. And I just thought that shit was weird. And we go in the theater and she didn't want popcorn or ice cream or candy. And it's one of the mini theaters. So there's like 6 fucking rows. Devon's got me fucking dying.
I'll mute myself. I'm sorry.
So I pull in the theater, or we go into the theater, and it's like one of the mini ones, of course. I'm like, this movie's been out like 3 fucking weeks. It's not even in a good sized theater, so it's like 6 fucking rows. The 2 back ones are full. There's a couple in the row behind us making out, which just kind of made things awkward. And then it was shitty. So we sit down and we're watching the previews, and like, I don't say a fucking word. The only thing I say is like Transformers preview comes on and I turn to her and I'm like, yeah, that's the movie I wanted to see if it was out. And that was it. And then the whole entire movie comes on. It's fucking terrible. I remember like a nude scene comes on and I turn away, like I'm trying to act like I'm not looking at like the girl's tits in the movie. And I remember I look over at her and she's got her arms crossed, her legs crossed, like her eyes were probably crossed. Anything she could have crossed, her body language was so fucking negative. So I'm like, fuck, like I don't know what to do. And it was fucking so bad. We leave, and I remember like we're doing small talk, and she's like, oh, what'd you think of the movie? And I'm like, it was all right, you know. And I'm like, what'd you think? She's like, it was good. And I'm like, she's fucking lying. This is fucking garbage. And just awkward silence all the way home, nothing to talk about. And
you guys didn't say anything in the car?
No, we talked a little, but like I was like, okay. Oh, how's like cheer camp going? And she's like, how's basketball? Like, it's like shit, because we already knew so much about each other. It was so awkward. I just didn't. It was a first date. I just didn't know what to do. And I remember I drop her off, and like no hug, no kiss, obviously nothing. And I remember just driving away, like yelling "fuck" out my window. I was so pissed. and we eventually went on some dates and shit after that, but it was like probably the most awkward first date story I've ever had.
Well, honestly. I mean, like, I learned through that what I learned is like never the first date, like maybe the third or fourth, take them to a movie.
Yeah.
And usually I like to watch scary movies because that like, I don't know, like it's just easier to like
to like
Cuddle
make a
each other.
move,
sit
Yeah.
closer, make a move, yeah. And then something else I learned is never like text too long. Like I'd say like a day or two maximum, and then go on a date, because then it's gonna be awkward. Like how you said, you got nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You guys already know each other.
Like,
That's
we
what's
knew,
bad
like,
about technology.
Yeah. Well, I was so hype. I'm like, fuck it. And yeah, I didn't know what to say because like we had talked about like every fucking thing we could have. So it was just.
I think it's
bad.
just a learning lesson for all of us, especially since we've all been through it. Nowadays, I try to keep it like very brief in the beginning and then try to hang out as soon as possible, just to get the conversation going. And if they don't want to hang out, that's fine, but I'm not going to sit here and text all day.
Like Javon says, say Javon, what do you call it when you text him too much?
Oh, like the pen pal.
You don't want to be their pen pal?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, no.
Where she's
That's
like, I
true.
just got home from a date. Like, you don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
But
what do you guys think is a good first date then? Like, what would you prefer? Like with the experience you have now.
Something interactive.
Especially during COVID, though, like this is something I talked to Mike about. I said I might have a potential first date or even dates in the future. Like with COVID going on, what options are there really? I know, Dre, you've been to the drive-ins, but
yeah, drive-ins is fun.
Okay.
But even that, it's like awkward. You can't really do anything. The freaking middle console's in the way. The emergency brake.
Yeah, so you're just sitting in the car together.
It's better though because it's not as
sitting on
loud.
your stick shift.
Ugh.
What the hell?
It is awkward.
And it's also like
they're like movies too. It's just a movie with the car, you know.
Yeah.
It's too hot to hike right now, you know. Like that'd be good for COVID, you know.
That's true.
Outdoors, but
that's true.
Yeah.
What I did, Josh, was when I went on a first date with the girl, like as COVID started, we I mean, she was cool with it, but we went over to her place, and I was like, hey, like, I know this place that does make your own pizza, so you get the ingredients and you guys make the pizza together. And I was like, that was kind of cool. I mean, all we had.
Did you guys do it?
Yeah, pizza's all right. It was a whole.
It was made.
Deal. Yo, the pizza, yeah. Their pizza's shit anyways. I just know they had to make your own pizza thing. So I was like, it'd be kind of cool to be interactive. But in my head, I'm like, oh, we're going to be throwing sauce at each other and cheese.
Oh,
and it's going to be all fucking
smack in the face with sauce.
Yeah, like put the dot on, like some shit. And now it wasn't like that. But we did that. And I brought over White Claws because I assumed every girl likes them, and she actually hates White Claws.
Yeah.
So I hated
It's good
it
you
too.
guys don't talk to her. It's good you don't talk to her anymore.
No, I'm the one I'm supposed to hang out with her.
Oh shit! No shit.
Oh god, get Truly next time.
Well, no, she's like I no White Claws.
She's more of a Dos Equis girl.
She likes beer. Yeah, we got the pizza and like some drinks and just played card games and drank and hung out. You know, it's kind of
that sounds fun though.
Too.
That does sound chill.
Like honestly, I think anything interactive where you're either cooking together, you're like doing miniature golf, or like going to Top Golf, bowling. Something that's kind of competitive, so you can joke too.
One time I went swimming on my first date. This is a bad story, but I'm gonna keep it like quick.
All right.
So I go swimming. I'm like, bro, like my shirt's gonna be off. Like I'm gonna like pull up, you know. So I get there, we just start swimming and shit, and there's like nothing to do. We're just talking. And this girl's like, there's a red Solo cup just sitting at the bottom of the pool. She was like, let's play catch with this Solo cup. So she fills the Solo cup with water, and we start throwing it to each other. Like I was just like, bro, this girl is childish. Like,
let's play catch with the Solo cup.
It was bad. But then after that, it like got better because she like paints. She was like teaching me how to paint, so we painted something together. So I guess that wasn't bad, but.
Were you naked when she painted you?
Did you do like a Titanic scene?
Like the Titanic. Exactly.
No, but this was like a second date. So
Okay.
So you hung out there after the Red Solo Cup game?
yeah, I also got like a bad sunburn, so
Fuck.
that was bad too.
Josh,
yeah,
I think
Solo Cup catch worst dates. I'd say.
that's a tough one.
I mean, for our viewers, like if you're a guy out there, I think Mike has some good creativity. And what are some pros of like do's and do nots when planning a date? I know a girl hates when you say like, I don't know, I'm down to do whatever. I feel
Yeah.
like you're not like that guy. She kind of likes when the guy's like, hey, I have this planned out. Let's do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Girls like when
Yeah,
you're-
never ask like, what do you want to do? You
Yeah,
should, like, have something
they
in
want
mind
you
already.
to take command. Yeah, they want you to plan and do that. But I think bowling. I mean, I've done bowling. So I talked to one girl about it, and she's like, "No, that's awkward because when we're bowling, we won't be able to talk. Someone's just going to be bowling." I'm like, "Well, you're going to fucking have time to talk if you don't you stop fucking bowling because that's what I did
Yeah.
on my
What
date."
if she just like, it's my turn, I gotta go.
Yeah,
It's like, hurry up,
like
it's your
we're-
turn, go.
Yeah, like it's like on a shot clock or something. So I didn't really get that because I had that good first date with the girl. Bowling was fun, like because you can make the like
No, I
competitive
think
jokes.
bowling's a good one.
Mini golf, I like mini golf. I told Josh I always wanted to do a mini golf date, and then go up behind the girl and be like, "Oh, I'll help you," and do that cute little thing where you teach her how to swing, and then just launch the fucking ball. But I've never done that.
And be interactive, and like Josh said, if you can be like competitive a little bit and joke around, that's always a plus too.
Yeah, anything like that. So other good first date ideas too, and this was I was supposed to do with the girl where we made the pizza, was board games. Like go into a place with that has like board games and shit, because like you can interact with them, kind of that competitiveness. My buddy told me about a bar that's supposedly had like board games and stuff that you could play. So we were originally supposed to do that, but the girl didn't own any board games, and I have Monopoly, and I won't play fucking
Wait, so
Monopoly.
do you have to take your own board game there?
I mean,
No,
that's
they
like I
have
went to
them.
her place because like
You went to her
Corona,
place.
and we went to her place. Like the whole point was I was trying to just hang out with her at her place and like
Yeah.
cook and stuff. But like if you go out, like I took this girl out for our third date, where the one I spent the night, that one, we originally got food, and then we went to a bar my other buddy told me about that has board games and darts and stuff. So we went there and played some board games, played some darts, and had some drinks. So it was kind of fun. The board games got a little awkward, but they also sucked. There wasn't a lot of good ones, but it was like something creative. And I seen on all the dating apps, like girls say they love board games or they're super competitive about board games and shit. So I always think that's kind of a good first, interactive date if you can go out like that. Plus, if it's in a public place and like you're not vibing, like Javon said, you can just get the fuck out of there.
I think that would be fun, going to a bar and playing something
Yeah,
like
just
that.
joking
like-
around.
or even if you're with a group of friends too, and she's there with you, and you guys just all play. It's good to get the personalities out and stuff. I'm saying
you
like
do-
later on.
Okay,
in, like,
okay.
When you're not first date, but like later
Yeah,
on
yeah.
when she's cool and you can bring her around your friends, like that's a fun experience. And trivia night would be pretty fun too.
That'd be fun. That
Oh,
would
the
be
one in
fun.
Seattle, Josh, with the it
Yeah.
was like pies and trivia night. That was fun.
Yeah, it was like pies, beer, and trivia night. We got shitted on.
Yeah.
If motherfuckers know their stuff, trying to get on like Jeopardy and shit, mini
They
Well,
Jeopardy.
they
have
were
to-
a bunch of boomers. to be
Yeah, bro,
honest.
they
no
lived for
wonder.
that shit. They lived for it.
Culinary Dropout would be a good spot too. Fuck cornhole, foosball, ping pong. I think that's a good first date spot too.
That'd be a good spot to take a date, and the atmosphere is it's nice.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah.
And get her the brown bag special. Fuck, save a couple bucks.
Oh, good call. Yeah,
Fucking
I like the
natty
food
lights.
too. I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's a good time.
That's my next
I don't
first date spot.
know. I don't know a lot of girls who drink beer though. I
Mm,
don't know if you
no.
guys do.
I guess we'll just
mean-
pay up. I guess whatever they want.
Yeah. I mean,
They
that
ain't
one girl,
gonna drink that
she likes
much.
beer, but yeah, they probably, especially on a first date, like they don't want to get drunk around you. I mean, unless
Oh yeah.
they're just trying to do that and hook up,
Unless
or,
she's
or
just ratchet, like
or going crazy. Yeah, like
Party animal.
yeah.
I ever tell you guys about like a Whiskey Wednesday night
No.
in Tucson?
I don't remember.
So there was Whiskey Wednesday night, and I would go like every Wednesday because I had the holidays or weekends off, and they would have every whiskey off 50% off. I went with friends, and then I invited some girlfriends from like college to go, like girls that were friends, and it's kind of embarrassing. So, anyways, I get the waitress's number, blah blah blah. Like we hang out, and I text her later that day. But then I had one of the girlfriends, and I was like super tipsy and messed up. Like you guys know, like when I'm like super tipsy and I don't feel good, that's how I felt. I chain smoked 2 cigars back to back, and that was like the worst idea I could have fucking did. But I was just hyped. I got the girl's number there, and then I had like 2 different girls like hanging out with me, and so then it was coming to the end of the night, and one of the girls was like, "Hey, Josh, I'm gonna give you a ride home." I was like, "All right, bet." I was like, "You come over," and so I'm like yelling in the car. I'm like super obnoxious. I'm like, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Passing by Jack in the Box. And then so she's like, all right, what do you want? And I was like, I don't fucking know. And I was just like, I'm hungry. Just give me whatever. And then at that moment, I remember like, I just start feeling the spins. And so we're in the drive-through and she's like, Josh, what do you want? I get out of the car and just start throwing up everywhere on the side of the street. Like,
Oh.
And then she's like, oh shit. So there's the cars behind us. And then there's cars behind us and we're backing up everything. It's like 3 a.m. and I'm just over there yakking and throwing up. It was like so embarrassing. But we end up going back to my place. I finished my Jack in the Box and I put Star Wars Rogue One on, and it was boring as hell for her. So I was like, do you just want to go cuddle? And we cuddled, and I don't know, we still did some stuff later on. And I was like, damn, this girl does not care. I just threw up everywhere. And that I was talking to another girl that same night. I was just like, what is going on right now?
Yeah, you got the waitress's number
yeah.
and shit.
And she knows how hype I was.
So did she get you a kid's meal, or what did she get you from Jack in the Box?
She gave me the munchie meal back then.
Kid's meal? Fuck.
Well, he said he was like screaming in the back.
Honestly, that's how I was. I was being obnoxious. I'm surprised how patient she was. And then she was still willing to like hook up a little bit, I guess.
Damn.
Weird.
Well, I'm sure you went and like fucking brushed her teeth and took mouthwash though.
I hope so.
Right?
Please say yes.
I want to say I did because like you know how you have to throw up.
Taste
mouth,
is
yeah,
bad.
so
Yeah.
I definitely did not eat like that. So
no, not even that. It'd be worse if she fucking made out with you like that.
No, I know that too. Yeah, so I'm hoping because I didn't want to eat like that. I'm hoping I did brush my teeth and stuff. I'm pretty sure I did.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever kissed a girl after she's thrown up? Like I'm sure she's.
After she's thrown up, bro. If I smell throw up, I'm throwing.
I was hoping y'all would say like that happened to you, but I guess not.
Yeah, I'm like Josh. I'd throw up too if I was around that.
I can't smell it, dude. Do you want to talk about your worst date?
Well, I did that one. That was the one with the movie theater one, but the other I was gonna say I wanted to mention like
the other
kind of like well there was 2. There was that one you were at when I was at the movies with this girl, and Josh was there and our buddy Ermo, and I remember I was sitting there like fucking nervous first date, and I remember someone whispered to Josh to like tell Michael to make a move, and I heard it because they're fucking right next to me, and Josh turns to me and he goes, "Yo, this is a good movie, right?" And I was like, he was trying to be cool about it, and I was like, "Yeah, what?" I was like, "Yeah," and I turned back, and I remember he turns back over to the person, and Josh goes, "He's got this. He's got this."
Wait, so Josh and Ermo, you guys had dates, or you guys were just there? Like it was 4 of you guys.
We just like they knew I was going on a date with the girl, so they were just kind of just making it. She couldn't. She was coming from work late, so we were already in the movie.
Oh,
that's what it was.
So she knew they were there.
Yeah, she knew.
Yeah, like I was like, I'm at the movie. Yeah, I wasn't like she showed up and all my friends are there.
This girl was feeling Michael so much she didn't give a fuck. Like she was just cool.
She was super chill. we hung out a little after that. But I remember I was trying to hold her. I was holding her hand during the movie, and my hand was so fucking sweaty. I had to wipe it off on my jeans. I was like, and like I was like, I'm sorry. Like it was so bad. But I remember we left, and then she's like, I was walking her to her car, and she's like, I can't find my car. She like, we started walking through the fucking parking lot, and she's like, I don't even know why I came over here. My car's not even over here. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, she was just kind of being coy. And then we walk over to her car and kissed and a little and everything and hung out another time. But it was just, that was fucking, I mean, the fact that Josh said that when they're like, tell Michael to make a move, and I heard it, and Josh just, he was like, he's got it. Like, that's one of my all-time favorites. But one of the other worst dates, which is probably tied for the movie theater one, was I went to a school dance with this girl, and I didn't really care. I wasn't really big into going and everything with the dance and stuff, but I agreed. So we went, and we pull up to the school, and we go in the dance, and she goes off with her friends. I go off with mine. We took the fucking classic photos there, and then we go back, and then like, I'm not dancing. I can't dance. I didn't want to dance.
What dance is this? What dance is this? Is this prom or winter
homecoming? This is homecoming.
Okay.
This is homecoming. My like junior year or junior year. And I didn't really want to be there. I didn't really want to go to the dance, but I did because I told the girl I had agreed. So I just wasn't I was like, whatever, and I don't fucking dance, you know. And I remember her friend even comes up and starts fucking like grinding on me, like it's gonna get me in the mood to dance with the girl I came with. It was kind of awkward, and like we were there for like 30 minutes, maybe an hour, and I was like, you want to get out of here? Like, let's go to the movies. So we walk over to Church's because I was starving, and I ordered some food, and I fucking texted Josh, and I was like, yo, bro, you want to go to the movies with us? I don't even know if I think I told him I was with her. So this is when Josh had hurt his knee like our junior year, like he was sore. So he came.
Tore my ankle. I rolled my ankle, I think.
Ankle. So you see Josh hobbling across the crosswalk on crutches. I was like, oh yeah, Josh is going to come to the movies with us. So I had him like almost third wheel us to the point where I didn't really want it to kind of be a date anymore. Yeah. But we go to the movies. The only movie at that time out that late was fucking G.I. Joe.
Oh my god.
That movie was trash.
Talk about a terrible fucking movie. And even with Channing Tatum and all these people, it was fucking so bad.
That's rough. It was probably worse for her too, because it's like a guy movie, you know.
She's like, and he brought me.
I brought Josh.
Wait, so she knew Josh was there too?
Oh yeah, she saw me.
No, we went to churches and we were chilling, and I'm like, hey, Josh is coming, and she's like a nice girl, so she wasn't gonna be like, what the fuck? She was like, okay. And like her dad drove all three of us.
No.
And then her sister drove us home, and Josh dropped Josh off, dropped me off, and like I don't think we really ever talked again after that.
That's tough.
Yeah, I felt
bad, but that was a terrible date. Like
I had a good time. I enjoyed the movie, and I got some good churches.
I mean, Josh had a good date.
Josh had a good date. It was bad for me.
No, that was a funny time, bro. Like, why the fuck would we even come up with that idea?
What do you guys think of double dates then? You've had like technically they were double dates. I don't know what you'd call them when your friends are there.
Oh, fuck. I think double dates can work. Double dates can work, but not like blind first double dates. Like, I don't know the other person yet.
I got you.
I think like once you build a connection, then yes. And your buddy says, hey, let's go on a date, all of us. So like, let's go.
What about
Sedona or something?
If it's a 2-on-2 blind date.
What? 2-on-2 blind date, like straight up, like I know a random girl, you know a random girl, we meet up.
So remember, you and me were with your parents at and we were drinking and we hit on that waitress and got her number, and
straight up.
we were gonna go with her and her sister, her like twin sister, on a double date. That would be kind of cool, right? Because we don't know them.
In that situation, that would be cool.
Yeah,
but let's say
them to mini golf, and they said fuck, they ghosted me. So
that's what the one double date I did. It was mini golf. It was pretty fun too, but it was we were already like talking for a long time both.
Oh yeah.
So I guess that makes sense. But it would be weird if it was like first dates, you know?
If Mike was talking to someone and I just met a girl, I don't think I would take the girl with him in his date.
Nah, because they don't know each other either.
Yeah, so it would be a little awkward. Like, I don't even know the girl.
When I went, the two girls were friends already, and I was friends with the guy. So it was like, I thought it was good, but blind, yeah, for sure, I probably wouldn't do that.
Oh, no. So I felt weird when I brought that girl to Mellow Mushroom. I was like, it's our first date. Our first date.
Our first date.
It sounded like Forrest Gump, our first date. And she's meeting my friends. Like, I was like, I hope she doesn't think I'm like trying to move too fast. I wanted to chill with y'all, and she said she was fucking having a good time and she was down.
Honestly, if you find a girl like that that's super chill, then that's a good sign.
Yeah, it looked like she liked it.
She had fun.
It seemed like it, yeah. I remember you guys hyped me. You're like, she's staring at you the whole time. I was fucking lit, but
deadass, her eyes did not leave.
She's probably like, when's this motherfucker gonna take me home?
She was like, when's Ermo gonna stop making jokes? He was on a roll.
She was staring at me. She's like, should I stay with this guy or go with the funny guy, Ermo?
I know, Ermo pulled up heavy.
He asked for her number. Fuck.
What are you guys' thoughts on inviting like some random girls to a party? Like you barely know them. Like you just got their Snap, Insta, you met them on Hinge, Bumble, Tinder, or you just met them at a coffee place.
To a party?
Your party or someone else's?
To your party or like your friend's party, like a close party, like your party, Dre, or Mike throws a kickback.
If they're cool with that. I was going to do that to that girl on Snap I mentioned in the last episode when I was messaging her about like cooking and shit. And then I was like, hey, I'm having my buddy's having a party. You should come. And she's like, yeah, and I'll bring some friends. And I was like, dope. Like we've Snapped. We've never fucking met. If she's comfortable with it, because then it's like, she's going to bring friends. If she's cool and having a good time, you guys can drink and you don't have to be on her hip the whole like a date day. You could interact with your friends, like have some space, get to know each other a little, joke around. I think that's kind of cool. Yeah. But you got to make sure she's comfortable in the situation, because hanging out at your house with your friends, drinking alcohol, like especially for a girl, I could see how that's very intimidating.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, if there's more girls though, it wouldn't be bad. Plus, everyone's like
that's what they'll probably bring
talkative.
Friends, I assume.
Girl's feeling you for some reason. She doesn't care. She's going to come.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good. I mean, as long as like if the girl trusts you, that's probably. I mean, that's good. That's a good sign. Obviously, you know, it's just I've known like I talked to some girl on some app and she's like, yeah, I would never let a guy pick me up on like for a first or second date again. Like this guy picked me up and like told me he wanted basically just to fuck, and like told her that on the date, and it was with all his friends there, and then she's like, I had to go pay to do some like, I don't know if it's axe throwing or something, some game they all did. She's like, and I had to pay for it and it was expensive, and she's like, he was my ride, I didn't know what to do, and this was like before Uber. So I'm like, damn, that is sketch. Like I get that, but I like picking up the girl because it's just more fun. You get to have that like more conversation and kind of like close up the date, you know, like an outro.
Hey guys, thanks again for tuning in to tonight's episode. We really hope you enjoyed our topics and stories. We definitely had a great time talking about them. Please leave any comments or any suggestions for topics you'd like for us to talk about in the future. We definitely love to hear your guys' feedback. Thanks again for tuning in. Keep an eye out for more episodes, and take care.